Alright, give me a minute, guys. Alright, we're live. Alright. Basically, this isn't it. Where the fuck is it? Alright.
Alright, let's start with a job introduction.
We'll go up to lesson 3, bruh. So, we're still basically doing theory. Operator brilliant if. Exercise 1. We have a while until we actually even.
Let's talk about input and output.
Alright.
Alright, we find ourselves back and tell you once more in this video.
Yo, 6-7, tough master. Yeah, we're gonna do this for a bit. And then I might hop on Minecraft later, maybe. I don't know.
We're going to talk about input and output. We're going to start, crazily enough, with the output first.
Look, if you like, I'm gonna run this really quick then. Alright. Control C, and then we paste that in. Beautiful. Right.
And this is the first time we'll write something. Now here...
Yo, I get to write something. Okay, I'm actually gonna delete like all of this. I'm gonna delete all of that. Cause we get to write. Oh, I'm doing well. And yeah, I do have stream delay, bro. I have horrendous stream delay. I could probably actually like decrease that, I'm not gonna lie. But whatever. Yeah, I'm doing fine though.
It is very important that we are within the main method, meaning this particular opening parentheses and this or curly bracket rather, and this closing curly bracket. We want to be within those. If it looks kind of like this for you, that's fine, whatever the case may be, but you are between those. You can even, you know, put whatever is in there and just move it down. That's totally fine, but we need to be within those. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And if you were to write something outside of them just for the sake of argument, you're going to get errors anyway, even if it is something that we, you know, maybe are used to. We're not going to have that, so just keep that in mind. Now, how do we output something? This is going to be a very interesting thing. Now, usually what we output is strings. You think back, data types, there were things about strings.
So, wait. String is just... Wait, that's wrong. Yeah, okay, that's a string. I don't know why I did that, bro. I low-key need a recap.
Strings are multiple characters next to each other. Okay, so how are we going to output this? It's going to look a little bit crazy, but this is just sort of a thing.
See, on Python, bro, this is how you would output. You just do print. So, please don't be too complicated. Because on Python, if I don't know. I can show you on Python. Why did I do that? Okay. Let's just build up this and hope it doesn't show my school email. Okay, I'm just gonna I'm gonna quickly, I don't know why I'm doing this either, bro. Okay. Oh, it's definitely gonna show my email, but whatever. Okay, well. What the fuck am I doing? No. Right. See, this is an output on Python. Yeah. So it can't be that bad.
Then we need to think about,
Surely.
okay, if we want to output something into the console, that's what we have to write. And the thing to write here is going to be system dot out dot println, and then we make a open parentheses. Once we make an
Wait, yo, boss man, I haven't even gotten there.
open parentheses, the closing parentheses automatically
Print.
generates. We don't need to do anything here. Then we're going to put in a string. So for that, we're going to need the quotation marks. We put in the first quotation marks, and once again, the second quotation marks right here generate automatically. So we can say, hello world, this is our first output. Cool, right? And then
we finish it with this.
End over here, and of course, end this instruction, this line, with a semicolon. Okay.
Okay, so now when I run this. Yo, I'm a programmer. I program Java now. Oh my god, I'm so skibbity sigma. Okay.
We have this. Awesome. If at any point there is a struggle, do not worry. All of the code is available to you, linked down below, either GitHub repository or a gist, so you have everything available to you that you might need. You can also copy over the entire code. That's totally fine. So there you go. And now that we have this written in here, what we can do, we can go to the top right over here, run main Java, and that's going to output what we've written in here, right here. Hello world. This is our first output. Congratulations, you can now write into that whatever you would like, and it's going to output that into your console.
Anything, right? I'm immature as hell, bro. I need to like
Really
retire
cool.
from
Now,
life.
a lot of people have always asked me, why do you write system out print line out? What you can also do is you can type in SOUT and then simply press the tab key, and it's going to write the entire thing out on its own.
Whoa! Yo.
But you don't have to. You can also write it out. If that's too confusing to you, that's totally fine. Some people find the one thing easier, some people find the other easier. Once again, I'm going to show you SOUT, and then simply press the tab key to autocomplete it, and then it's going to autocomplete the system out print line.
Yeah, that's
but
kind
we're
of
going
tough.
to have another output, because yes, we can output strings, but we can also output values. So we can output values as it let's say we have an integer, so there's going to be a number. We're going to call this number life, and we're going to immediately initialize it to 42, which is, of course, life. Oh, I see. And now, inside of the print line parentheses, we're going to simply type life. We can even see if we start typing this, it's going to suggest this to us. You can see it says a V over here. That means it has detected a variable with the first same letter of L. And if we were to select this and press tab once again, it also auto-completes that without any issues. But you can also write it out. Here, once again, very important, because we want to reference this variable, it has to be a lowercase l. If I were to write this with an uppercase L, you can see that doesn't exist, because uppercase, lowercase is always important.
Yo, this is
you
so
have to
tough.
be precise enough that, yes, even the casing, in this case, is important. So we're going to write this in, and if we were to run this again, what you will find is that now it has also output a 42 right here. Absolutely fantastic. But if we want to get rid of the console, we can simply hide it over here at the right corner there. That's totally fine. Now, we can also output a value with a string. Value and string. So what would that look like? Well, let's say we have a grade, and that grade is, let's say,
Long day, bruh. My brother just walked in my room.
85. We're pretty pretty good, but not too good, okay? And then we say once again, let's say south over here, right? Boom, tab to autocomplete it, and inside we're gonna write your grade is, okay? And we put it in a space.
Wait, I'm gonna guess how he does it. I'm gonna guess how he does it. Your grade is, and we have the space already. I wonder. Nah, bro, surely. Nah, bruh. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And after the closing quotation mark, we're gonna put in a plus over here, and then put in the grade variable.
Yo, Python knowledge coming in clutch. Oh my god, bro. Learn Python, kids. It helps your life. Or something,
And
I
you
don't
can
know.
see this is totally fine. What this does is it concatenates the grade variable
Yes, concatenation. I know about this.
value at the end of your string. What does that mean? That's a big word. It just puts it at the end. That's literally what concatenation means, right? It's just putting something at the end.
Let me add a limiter to the desktop audio. Or a compressor. Compressor. Boom.
End of something else. It's a little more complicated than that. But
Oh wait, I just made it. Yeah, give me a moment, guys. Let me fix my audio.
but let's just say that's what you need to know, and that's what happens here.
Yes,
This
sir.
allows us to
6,
also
7.
put the string and the variable, which of course is much easier than just having 42 written here. No, all in one line. We're now gonna see your grade is 85. Of course, much better output than just having, let's say, 42 and the line above that. Let's say, what is the meaning of life, and then have 42 in the next line. No, we can all have that in the same print line. Really neat. And now we go on to, a bit more of a crazy thing, and that is going to be input. Now, for the input, I need you to trust me once again, because we're going to see some.
Yes, bro. We'll make input.
Something that's going to be a little bit outside of the scope that we will be able to understand right now. And once again, I want you to trust me in this, that we will talk about this and you will understand exactly what that means in, not too many videos, but it's going to take a little moment because we need to build up a couple more things. However, I do want you to basically know how you can read something in, okay? Because I think that's going to allow you to play around with this way more. So what we need for this is a scanner. So this is basically the way that we can input something. Now we're going to write this out, and then I'm going to explain. So I'm going to write a uppercase S and then scanner. So as you can see, SCANNER with an uppercase S, and you can see it actually suggests this to me. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit the tab key, and what you'll find is if you now scroll up, you will find at the very top over here an import. Once again, this has to this has to be there. It's very important that it's there. If it's not going to work. Now, if it for some reason does not exist for you after you've done this, your scanner is going to turn red. That's totally normal, and that's fine. But what you can do is you can click on it, and usually it will get a normal underline, and you can see it even suggests to you if you want to import this. So you can simply click this, or press Alt and Enter, and then it's going to add the import at the top. And then now we have a red underline, but the scanner itself is white. That's exactly what we want in this case. Now, we then have a scanner with a lowercase s, because this is the name of a variable. So in this case...
Oh no.
We make a variable with a data type of scanner. Once again, we don't need to get into specifics right now of what that means or how that works. We're just, okay, we have a scanner right now. Okay, and now here I need you to fully trust me and simply write this out. We're going to write out new, and then once again, scanner with an uppercase S, after the scanner parentheses, and inside of those, system with an uppercase S, and then dot in. Once again, you can always double check the code in the description below. We have it in the gist as well as the GitHub repository, so you can
Yeah, bruh.
double check that this is written.
The print was fine, bro. The output was fine, bro. But what the fuck is this? What is this? What the fuck am I looking at? Do you know how easy it is on Python? Wait. Like, I actually forgot to do it on Python, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, anyways.
Correctly. It has to be written pretty much exactly like this, and this basically just allows us to read something in. That's all we're gonna talk about for today in this particular video, and we will go into more detail what all of these things mean, including, for example, the new keyword. Of course, we know that anything that is orange is a keyword. That's totally fine, right? We're gonna talk about what all of this means in a later video. Right now, we just want to read in, let's say, a number. So let's say we have an integer number, and it's going to be equal to, now how do we read in a number? Well, we're going to use the scanner variable, and then we're going to say dot next int. And you can see over here, also very important, that next over here, so the n lowercase, and then the I here is uppercase. Once again, as you can see, if I were to write it like this,
Oh, it's red.
it would not work. That's why I'm telling you that sometimes there are
Wait, what?
very specific things, like for example the casing, that is why I'm telling is uppercase. Once again, as you can see, if I were to write it like this, it would not work. That's why I'm
Oh. Scanner dot.
telling you that sometimes there are very specific things, like for example the casing, that is always important, right? And whether or not you write something lower.
Yo, boss man, bro. Yo, boss man. But that doesn't work. Yo, I've got an error, bruh. Yeah. And next thing cannot be referred to in a static context. What does that even mean? Int number equals scanner system dot in. I've got all of this. And then int number equals lowercase s, I think. Ah, we use the variable name.
That's always important. And here we have to read in a number, right? Has to be a number. What does that mean? Well, let's just check by outputting, right? So we're gonna output this s out. Once again, tap to autocomplete it, and you just typed. I'm gonna say dot plus and then number over here. So now it's going to happen. If I run the program again, it's not going to finish. So this is going to be very interesting. So I'm going to run this over.
Gonna run it, and nothing happened. You just typed 5. Ah, okay. Wait, so then if I do fuck is radix, bruh? Whatever. I really thought that would work. I don't know.
Over here, and you'll see that we don't have the last line which always says, you know, program ended with program code 0 or something to that effect. So if we now type in a number, let's say we type in 67, what's gonna happen?
Six seven. Six seven. 6 7 funny. Okay. Yeah. You just type 6 7.
Now if I press the enter key, well, it's going to output, you just typed 6 7. Yeah. Oh, what? Indeed, it had.
It's the 6 7, bruh. It's the 6 7. People are reacting to it. A long day, bro.
As like read in this number right here, it is stored.
I'm gonna have to like that one.
Variable, and then output it right here. Now this opens up a whole bunch of different things, which are gonna be really, really freaking cool. Okay, this is gonna be awesome. Now I said this has to be a number because we're writing this into an integer. So now you might say, okay, but like, what if I just write count? What's gonna happen now? Let's just try. You're not gonna break anything. Well, I mean, it's gonna look like you broke something, but you're not gonna break anything. It's not gonna explode your computer. So just stop. Oh, red, exception, error. Very, very important for you to know. Every time you get an error, every time this looks, for especially for new people, this looks like the world has come down, right? I think maybe it's school that sort of gets it into your head or something like that. Oh, there's an error. That's not good. Do not freak out. Always stay calm. I know this sounds crazy, and we'll talk about this in another video. Actually, almost the next one, not quite, but the one after that. We're going to talk about errors. Errors are your best friend. Okay? Errors are always a thing that you expect to happen. Okay, this is not something to never happen. Actually, you want this to happen because now we know. Oh, there's something wrong. We have not thought about this in our program. Now, in this case, we're going to keep it like this because we know we should only enter a number. That's okay. However, if we were to release this program to the world and someone would type that in, it would crash our program. Okay, fair enough. Good to know. But in this case, our error can be ignored for the time being. Well, obviously, we can fix these things as well, but for the time being, that's okay. Now, another thing that we want to do is I want to also read in a string. So I'm going to write string. Note once again here, the string is written with an uppercase S. This is going to be our input variable equal to scanner.next. Right? We're going to do scanner.
Yo, boss man, chill out.
Next in this case, and then simply output this. So S out, tab to autocomplete it, and we're going to say you just typed, and then we say this is going to be a string over here, and the string we type is of course the input variable. So now what we can do is we can run this again.
I'm too slow. Give me a minute, boss man. I don't even know where the plus key is. I'm a dumbass. Yeah.
Let's say
So now,
we type in
Shift F10. Ah. That makes sense. So we do 6 7, and then we do Ohio. Oh, I just typed Ohio. I just typed 67 Ohio.
The number 69. You just type
69.
69, and it's waiting for another thing, and that's Kaupenjo is super smart, and we'll find something, and that is, it says that you just typed Kaupenjo. That's quite interesting. Why did it only take Kaupenjo? Well, there's a very important thing that is has to do with inputs and scanners. The scanner is a little bit of a rowdy guy, let's say, and in this case, when we use this next over here, it will only get everything that you typed up until the first space. So do note that right now, when we read in strings, we only create one particular word and not anything after space. We will be able to do that in not even, in a couple of videos. We'll talk about why that is, but I think this video has gone on long enough. It's gonna read in a singular word as well as an integer, in this case like a number, and you can also see if you type.
Cool, you know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm gonna save all. I actually wanna exit it. Up. I didn't think that meant I would exit IntelliJ completely. Alright. No. Right, what I want to do is I want to do a new project. So where is this? Right. I want to rename this to okay, I think I broke it. Okay, I just have to go to my PC. I just have to just select that. Trust project. I mean, yeah, I made the project. I'm also just gonna Control C and I'm gonna delete this. I messed up. New project. Inputs and outputs. Yeah, okay, well I only have 21, so what? No, it doesn't. And now it doesn't, right? New project. Inputs. How does it still exist? No, it shouldn't exist. Right. New project. Right. Create. No, doesn't. Inputs and outputs tutorial. This window. I think I messed up. Project. Java IntelliJ. I think I messed up the setup, but whatever. Okay. Well, that should all work. So, I wonder why this one's purple though. Alright, oh that just... I'm done. Okay, well that's that. And then that can be put in a recycle bin and I can empty it. I don't want it. And yay! We learned something, guys. I think. We have gone through a whopping 1 tutorial. Right, inputs and outputs. Beautiful. Well, let's make a new tutorial. And it's gonna be about
Let's talk about
integer math. Why does he get an IDE and an out right below it? I mean, wherever. I guess. God, I hate Windows. No, I want you to take up half the screen. Why can't they just give you this like little bar that fucking... Like, no, I don't want that. There, I want that. Beautiful.
and math. Alright, we found this back and tell you once more. In this lecture, we're talking about integers and math. Now, first of all, I want you to calm down a little bit. It's not going to be crazy math. It's like okay-ish math, let's say. One thing that a lot of people say is for programming you need a lot of math skills. I would say it is somewhat true, but I think the math that is, can be quite important in programming. Obviously, it highly depends on what you want to do. Let's say if you want to do anything when it comes to game development, i.e., for example, Minecraft mods, Hytale mods, things like that, likely some things that you will run into is things like vectors, right? So you want to know how vectors work, maybe matrices, although that's maybe a little bit too complicated, but basically vector math is one of the big things. In this case, though, no, we're not going to go that crazy. We will start at the very beginning, and that is with addition. Okay, that is where we start. Very, very straightforward. Now, what we will have here, or what we have here, is an integer a and an integer b, and we are going to write in a new integer called sum, and this is going to be equal to a plus b. Wow. Okay, that is crazy. And indeed, what this this over here is our addition operator.
Oh my, wait. Right.
Now, the reason I say this is not like, oh, this is plus or, you know, just like a plus character or something like that. No, this is the addition operator, and I specifically say it like that. This is also why I continued to say that the equal sign is specifically the assigned operator. And this is extremely important. Let's think about for just a second, if we were to write, we're going to do this in just a second, but let's say if we were to write A divided by B, right? If you were to write this, you know from math what I write on the left side and on the right side, it's actually very important, right? Because 1 divided by 2 is something completely different than 2 divided by 1, right? So when it comes to division, the division operator is sided, right? Whatever's on the left side and on the right side, it determines what is going to happen. And the same thing is true of the assignment as well. So you can't just, like in math, where an equal sign means the left side is the same as the right side, you cannot write A plus B equals sum. That does not work, because the assignment operator assigns the value from the right side to whatever the left variable is, right? So that is why it only works sum is equal to, and then here we have an expression. In this case, it would be A plus B. Now, if we wanted to know what that is, we can write S out. Once again, tab to autocomplete it for a system out print line. Here we're going to write sum and then plus sum. As per usual, all of the code is available to you.
And then when I run that, it will give me an output. Sum is 300. Yo, it can do math. I can do math. I can do mathematic.
You in the description below, GitHub repository, just so you can see the entire code that we're writing over here, all available to you, so you can double check that there as well. What we're going to see, in this case sum, this should be 300. I think my math in my head is still fine. I feel like that is okay. Let's run this, and there you go. The sum is 300. Absolutely fantastic. Now, of course,
Yes, skibidi.
also then take this sum variable and just assign something new to it and output that as well, right? So we can now do another one, and we can say sum, and all of a sudden, if we just output that, then what would happen is that now we're going to sort of overwrite, quote unquote, whatever is written in sum. So if we were to do this, all of a sudden we output sum 50, because of course we have now assigned another value to the variable sum. Hopefully that makes sense. Now here comes something quite interesting, and that quite interesting thing is,
I want to just run this. Whoa, whoa, 350.
subtraction. Aha, this is the next one. So subtraction, here we go. Here, what we're going to do is we're going to have an int sub, which is equal to a minus.
Oh wait, I haven't done it yet. Chill out.
B. Interesting stuff. Now, what is that going to output? Well, it's going to output subtraction over here, and then of course a plus, and then add the sum over here. You can also simply, you know, copy this, right? So you can select this, press Control C to copy it, and Control V to paste it in, and then use that as well. But in this case, we're just writing it out. That's totally fine. Or of course, the code link below. Let's run this, and you can see subtraction is minus 100. That's
Whoa, whoa. This is the smart technique.
absolutely correct. If we have 100 and we subtract 200 from it, it would be a negative number. That of course can happen, right? Negative numbers are nothing too, you know, they shouldn't be too crazy. Those can occur. And then we get 2. What is the next one? Well, we're not going crazy just yet. We're going to multiplication next. Okay, multiplication. What is that going to entail? Well, int mult is going to be, or let's call it multi. I think multi is a little bit of a
Is that multi? I'm gonna take a guess.
A nicer word, is equal to A times B. This is a star over here, right? So this is going to be the star is
Yeah.
the multiplication operator. And once again, we have simply multiplication over here, and that is going to be multi, bada bing, bada boom. And what is that going to output us? Well, 100 times 200 is 20,000. Is this accurate? It is indeed accurate. 20,000. Well, my mental math has not yet betrayed me, but when it comes to the division 000, who knows? And I'm not talking about the game division. I'm talking exactly about the numbered, the mathematical operator division. We've seen this previously, so we have an int division is equal to A divided by B. Okay, now we see that this is marked as yellow. Now the question is, why would this be marked as yellow? Well, let's think about what that
What's log point? Yeah, bruh. Long day.
that is. This is 100 divided by 200. Or if we were to do some math, we could say, wait a second, this is the same as 1 divided by 2, which is 0.5. Now here, it gets very interesting, because if we output this, let's just do it, right? Division is plus division. Okay, let's just say we have that. Well, let's output this, and let's see, this is going to get us a 0. Oh, okay. Well, if we hover over this, this is a warning. And this warning says that the result here is always going to be 0. Why is this the case? Well, because we're using an integer, and an integer, in this case, we can only have a 1 or a 0 or a 1. We can't have 0.5. If we want this to be 0.5, well, then we would have to do this with, let's say, doubles. So we now can do double 100, an x of 100, and y of 200, and then a double of, let's call it double division in the case, right? That's fine.
So we need to... I'm a dumbass. So... How the fuck do I make all of these mistakes? And that will be correct. Yeah. Okay.
Division
Because the double doesn't round.
equal to x divided by y, and all of a sudden,
And I'm getting a message.
if we were to now print this out, right, and we
Why is this guy messaging me about raiding a base? I did not raid any base.
say call this double division, right, because it's the division with double, let's say, and we output double division, all of a sudden if we do this, we get 0.5. So sometimes, if you may ask, right, oh, why wouldn't I always use, let's say, an integer or something like that? Well, sometimes we might want to use a double because we want to have, 0.5 represented over here. So it can be quite important that we have this. But regardless of that, that's division. Very important here.
Why not just use a float? And why not just use a float? You can use a float. C and D. And then we have float division. Yes.
Also, very, very important. What can we never do in division? Never divide by 0. Yes, because if we have a division of, let's say, b divided by 0, what is going to happen? Well, right now, it's not going to do anything. Although it will tell you, oi, division by 0. Don't do that. Okay, but it's not going to stop you from doing that. Because sometimes it could be that you have a variable that is put through the ringer, right? Who knows? Like it's a health variable or something like that, and then that gets changed every time a bullet hits the player, and at some point it might turn into a 0, right? It could be the case that this happens. And then if we do this, right, and then we have a division over here, and we output division again, what's going to happen? Well, it's going to be division by 0, and that does not work. Division by 0 does not.
Well, that's my chat bugging as well.
Not work. This is not a thing that works, and that's totally fine. So in this
Yeah,
case,
okay.
you sometimes, well, you have to basically be cognizant of if you have a division somewhere in there, right? If you divide something, always make sure that it's not 0. It's never 0. You might have to, check it in some capacity beforehand, but that's okay. So next up, we have something that you.
Why am I getting like mad Discord messages? Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh.
May or may not have seen before. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, and that is the remainder. Now you might say, remainder?
The remainder. Why is my chat bugging out? Like, boss.
I've heard about this before, but I'm not sure that, well, that is also called the modulo operator, and that can be extremely interesting. Now, it is, let's just say it has certain applications, but in this case, well, we'll see, okay? We're just going to make a remainder variable over here, and we're going to call this 100, and then we use the percentage over here, and then 2. Now, what this does is, it basically takes 100, divides it by 2, and then looks if anything remains. Meaning, obviously, 100, or rather 2 fits into 150 times. So what we would get from a division is 50, and the remainder would be 0 because it neatly fits in there. So if we say remaining from 100 divided by 2 is what? And that is exactly going to be, well, the remainder, which, if we run this, is going to be 0. There you go.
Remainder is 0. That's tough.
Important here, by the way, out of, obviously we're gonna comment out the division by 0 because that would not be good. But that is the let's say if we divide by 2, remaining is going to be nothing. If we were to, let's say, remainder, so I just as you can see, I just select this, press Control D to duplicate it. So you can see I'm duplicate the selection, and then I am going to do a 3 right here and a 3 right here. Now what is going to remain? Well, we can get to 99. 3 times 33 is 99. Okay, so we're going to get to 99, but 1 is going to remain, right? Because 1 divided by 3 is not a whole number, therefore the remainder is 1. And we can do a similar thing with 4.
How the hell does he duplicate it? I guess. It's not gonna break it, right? And then we can just have that, and that'll work.
Let's say, and now 4 once again works in because that's 25, and that works out. So 25, like, it fits
100 divided by 3, so the remainder on that. The remainder is 1! Yo, 6, 7, skibbity.
perfectly into the 100, so that's going to be a 0 once again. For the remainder, a couple of things that are quite interesting. If you do remainder of 2, that basically tells you whether or not the number that you have taken the remainder of is even or uneven. Because if the remainder is 0, right? So if this is 0, that means even number. And if it is equals 1, that means it is an uneven number. So that can be very important and very interesting to think about. Now, when it comes to the modulo, you're likely not going to really need it in any huge capacity. However, it might be the case that you read someone else's code, and that's why you always need to know, I mean, basically almost all of the concepts, even if you say, I might not use that or I might not need that. Well, it's still important if you all of a sudden see this, you know, the like percentage sign, you might say, well, I mean, what does that mean, right? It's like 100% of 4. No, this is the modulo remainder operator. I also highly recommend, if this is something that you're not quite familiar with, do take a look at maybe some math lectures on YouTube or something like that to take a look at what the modulo operator all does and what it can be used for. It can be quite interesting, it can be quite useful, but like I said, it has only very, very restrictive sort of capabilities in the sense of what we need. But yeah, finally, we also have some math methods. So those are math methods, and those are...
Right, we're gonna leave math methods for later. I'm gonna end the stream here. Yeah, so I'm gonna end the stream here. I'll have on math methods here. I'll run it to save it. I'll also make sure to save all. Boom. And now, yes, I want to exit. We should be fine.